Hello and welcome to another edition of The People's Rose. I'm Jared.
I'm Brooke.
And if you are watching this, that means that, Lord willing, we are at the start of our Pod-ternity leave.
Good one.
Brooke is, by the time this episode comes out, will either be going into or have successfully finished her second C-section labor, and to grow our family to 4. There's 4 of us in total. We don't have 4 kids, but we are literally. It can't get any closer.
The final countdown.
Literally the final countdown. Less than 24 hours, and so we had to get a podcast in before the Pod-ternity leave. Pod-ternity leave sounds way better, right?
Yeah.
Pod-ternity leave to discuss everything. We've been watching on reality TV before we take who knows how long of a break. This could be the easiest baby ever. We might see us in who knows how long. I won't even throw any numbers out there.
Let's just
But we talked about it last time. Oh, and just so if you have no idea what's going on, we are a reality TV podcast. We love reality TV so much that we decided to start podcasting about it. And it's really, really fun. We love reality TV. Not only do we love reality TV, we've been on reality TV. We had a House Hunters episode, which was really, really funny. Check that out. You can look in our prior episodes, or just look up A Home for Podcasters. It's our episode name. But again, this is a reality TV podcast, but it's also a Brooke and Jared podcast. We talked a little bit about it last time, and we're going to continue to do that. This week, we're going to be talking about Love is Blind, Bachelor, and the Traitors. Yeah. The shows that we're watching.
It's a lot. And we had a week off or 2 weeks off.
We had 2 weeks off. Well, hold on. I'll get to it.
Okay.
So if you came here to listen to that stuff, we got chapter markers. If you're watching on YouTube, you're not even going to see this because I've already separated it up into the content you want to see. So if you just want to catch our thoughts on Bachelor or Love is Blind or Traitors, watch one of our YouTube videos. Or if you're listening to the podcast and do not care about our personal lives, just want to jump ahead, we got chapter markers, and most likely whatever podcast app you're using, at bare minimum, just look at the timestamp and jump to the chapter of whatever show you want to hear our awesome takes on. But before we get to all the reality TV news, this being the final moments of this second pregnancy of yours, what are your thoughts? I think that people want to know.
Oh man. Well, I feel extremely blessed to be able to carry a baby. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Off air, we've talked about that.
Believe it or not, we've talked about our baby off air.
Well, because we've had some challenges getting pregnant, and we had a miscarriage, and even at the beginning of this pregnancy, there was a situation where I had some bleeding, where we weren't sure what the trajectory was going to be, and so we're just really thankful that we've gotten here. Now, I will say pregnancy is hard on my body, which is why we're doing it a little earlier than maybe I had hoped, because I just want her to be fully ready, But
also, spoiler alert, I don't know if we mentioned it. We are having a girl.
I think we did.
But just if you're on this pod, we already have our son who we love and adore finally getting a baby girl. So we're happy about that as well.
Yeah. So, it's been tough, but you okay?
Yeah, I was just like, why am I wearing these headphones still? Go ahead.
Okay. It's been tough on my body, but it's okay. And after tomorrow, Lord willing, I'll be on my road to recovery, and she'll be here, and we can just cuddle and enjoy life as a family of 4.
Yeah, this is the world doesn't know it. But our little baby girl being born soon is going to be a monumental event. Many people will be affected by her life, which has already affected so many people's lives. As is our son. We want the same for all our children. But It's interesting because, of course, I'm not carrying the baby. I'm supporting you. JB and our son and I were supporting you. And so I empathize with how hard it's been for you, and you still, you got to cross the finish line. So yes, but my only feeling, I had a brief moment of nervousness. Like maybe I say brief moment, like a few days ago. But I'm just so excited.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to have a little girl.
Let me just say, this is the first girl in Jared's family. Like, he has all brothers. His mom and dad, or his dad had boys.
Yes.
His mom's side, there's nobody else. So this is a big deal for your family. My family is all girls, so it might have been a bigger deal with our son first, but still, of course, everybody's so super excited.
Yes, we're very incredibly excited.
I will say, though, I am also very nervous. I do not know if I will sleep tonight at all.
I think you should definitely sleep.
Well, I want to sleep. Don't get me wrong, but like, I'm so excited. I don't know if I can.
I know you. You will find a way to fall asleep. Trust me.
No, that's the thing. I will fall asleep. I will fall asleep so easy, and then I'll wake up at 2 a.m. and I'll be wide awake and nervous and freaking out.
You know how you're going to fall asleep? I'm going to cut the Wi-Fi tonight.
What?
I'm cutting the Wi-Fi on all devices.
No, sir.
See?
What are you going to do then? Because you're up all night on the Wi-Fi.
Rest peacefully.
Oh, yeah, right.
But you also, I mean, I feel like today's the day that I could go to sleep.
Okay. We'll see.
It's like anticipation for Christmas. I feel like we've always, like, the Lord has known our child for a long time, longer than we have, obviously. And we're starting to come into that feeling of, okay, we're going to have a larger family than just you, me, and our son. And I don't know how, this is such a weird feeling. I almost feel like I miss her. And like, like we've, this time that it's been a beautiful time, but and Lord willing, we have a long life. This will just be a moment before we had our full family. And even who knows how much fuller it could get. Yeah. 7 kids, who knows? But I'm excited. Yeah. I said all that to say.
Same.
And we got like an album rollout. I got a daughter rollout already planned. I got a couple things we're gonna do. We're gonna make some moves, Lord willing. Not just just announcement news. And I'm just so excited. We're so excited. But all that said, pray for us.
Yeah.
Like I said, by the time you're hearing this content, the Lord's already come through. Brooke is successfully, completed. I don't know if it counts. How do you say it? We finished the surgery. I just didn't say completed. It's not like you're going to be the surgeon. You know what I mean?
Delivered? She's been delivered.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, but still pray because, I didn't have a sister. I don't know what to do. We'll figure it out though.
You're going to be a great girl dad, but I do think it's going to take some adjustment for you.
I don't know. I think it'll take adjustment because I think I'm ready to, I don't even want to put this on record. But I've shared this thought. Like, I've realized that the way I've been parenting JB, I'm like, have considerations. Am I going to do the same with her? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, is it fair to treat him differently? But then I'm like, of course I'm going to treat him differently. Why? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
take gender out of it.
Yeah.
Every single parent has said each child is different.
That's true. Like, you need to know your child's individual needs and wants. And you may need to do things a little differently for each child, but I don't think that it should be based on gender necessarily.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm talking about internal conflict I have with myself.
Yeah.
That's something I didn't realize until I had a girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's language that I use. You know what I mean? That I'm like, I didn't have a daughter until I don't have a daughter. Well, you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Until I'm parenting a daughter, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's all I'm saying. I don't think it'll be a huge adjustment. Like, girl, do girl play sports? You know what I mean? I don't think it'll be anything like that.
Right.
It'll just be, I think naturally, I have a higher tolerance for sternness with our son, that I'm wondering if it'll be a natural tendency with a daughter.
Because you're like, he can take it. Can she take it?
Well, I understand everything. That could not be wrong, but you know what I'm saying? I understand everything about what I'm about to say, contextually. But my point is, yes, not if he can take it. I want to build him up to a point where he can take it. And I also want that for all my children.
Bad, though. This isn't like
no, it's not. Serious. I'm not over there like
it's not like that.
But but you know, if you know what I mean. If I said no, you have to say please. We don't give in until you say please. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like we hold the boundary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have stern boundaries.
Right.
But I already felt myself going like, well, you know. You didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Here, we'll work on saying please. And then it's year 18 and they're, you know what I'm saying? Because I just felt softness.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm like, that's not fair to her. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. This is a reality TV podcast.
Reality life podcast.
And we're reality TV stars now.
Yeah.
So anything we say about ourselves is adjacent to reality TV. Okay. What do we want to start with?
We're just basically going to do broad strokes, but let's just start with Bachelor because that's our main one.
Here's a note. By the time we're filming it, by the time you hear this, we won't have seen the things we're about to say about Bachelor, we haven't seen the latest episode.
Yeah, like I think tonight's episode that we're not going to cover is, I think they're narrowing it down to hometowns.
Right. So just broad strokes. What are your thoughts on Grant's season up so far? We can talk about some of the stuff from the episodes that we haven't covered.
Yeah.
And if we just go through just the main characters as they come into our head.
Yeah. So basically, I think the biggest thing that's happening right now is Carolina. Yeah. Right? Like, basically everybody is having issues with Carolina.
Yeah.
Because of the way that she is talking about her feelings towards Grant. Like, after they had gone on their one-on-one, she came back and instantly was just like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I was really sure, but now seeing him talking to other people, I don't really know. So then Juliana pulls her aside and is really actually, I think, trying to be a girl's girl and give her a heads up.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, like, it's not really cool what you're doing.
Right.
And she did not receive it well at all.
Right.
And then Juliana proceeded to go tell Grant, like, hey, you know, this is what's going on. This is what we're observing. Right. And
I think what happened was Carolina told Grant. Juliana called her out. Grant was like, why'd you do that? And then Juliana was like,
oh,
well,
you're
this
right.
is why.
You're right. Yeah, that's true.
It's not like she just tattletales.
That's true.
So what are your thoughts on Carolina is my question.
Oh, gosh. I see where the girls are coming from.
Yeah.
And she's kind of saying, like, well, it makes sense to not be fully in when it's only been however long.
Right.
And I'm like, but that's not really what you're doing.
Right.
Like, you're kind of portraying, or to me, it's coming off as like you're just very insecure seeing him with other women, which I don't blame you. I would be too.
Right.
But maybe just say that.
Yeah.
And then who was it? It was the other girl, Rose, that she told Grant, like, oh, you said, you told her you were thinking about her while she said you told her you were thinking about her while we were dancing.
Right.
And honestly, thank you to the people who have time to go back and review the tapes and put that on TikTok, because he kind of did say that. He said, like, I was thinking about you when we were dancing. So I could see how she could get that message.
Right.
But then anyway, last week, it's like still going on.
Right. And
so Rose was like, you really screwed me over.
Yeah. Yes. I think the thing about Carolina is it comes down to this. This is what it comes down to with all reality TV shows. You signed up for the show.
Yeah.
So at some point, we are all buying in. We're watching. We don't all watch these shows. So some people do. I don't know why they watch them. But we don't watch these shows to be like, how could you do this?
Yeah.
Every season, 25 girls again.
Yeah.
In 3 weeks. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, we watch it because, yeah, okay, sure. Everyone's bought in. If you're realizing like, okay, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I think the other girls are like, okay, go home.
Right.
We understood the process.
Right.
We're doing it and we want you know, we don't have as much time as you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if we had signed up for House Hunters and we're like, we got to pick between these 3 houses.
Mm-hmm.
Who could do this? And the production would be like, yeah. You know what I mean? This is the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at some point you're like, Carolina, that's the show.
Yeah.
And you're right. In the real world, it wouldn't be crazy after one date.
Sure.
To know and feel the pressure. Because if he's like, well, I'm going to marry you in 2 weeks. Or just, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But
this isn't the real world.
Right.
It's a TV show you signed up for.
Right.
But even that is like, okay, I get that. That's happened before. It's the constant, like, anytime someone calls her out on it, that she turns into like, because she is a complainer.
Yeah.
And so when someone gives her feedback, she's like, well, I didn't ask you anything.
Yeah.
I would be like, okay, then shut up.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you talk about. We would literally have nothing else to talk about if we didn't talk about all your complaining.
Right. But I've been seeing people online saying, oh, well, the producers are asking her, and that's why she keeps talking about it. And I'm like, that may be true. But she also could correct and be like, and maybe she did and they cut it. I don't know. But she also could be like, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on our connection.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. This is a good example. I think. We did not want to be a couple on House Hunters that fought all the time.
Yeah.
Nobody was trying to make us fight.
No.
That's not what we're saying. But we came in there consciously like, we are going to, you know, express our differences, but not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want, you know what I mean? She has choice for how she's what she talks about.
Mm-hmm.
And all the women there don't like how she's acting.
Yeah.
Like at some point, you know, are all these women lying on her?
Right.
Even the one in that episode who sticks up for her, Dina. We saw the preview in this episode that's coming out tonight.
They're going to have it out.
Even she has it out.
Yeah.
And it spills over into social media. If you're not keeping up with social media with reality TV shows, it's almost becoming a full-time job.
It really is like a thing now.
Yeah.
Like you have to have both.
Right. And so, you know, for those who don't know, like saw the preview, she's like, I forget exactly what she said, but basically it was just like, I was the only one who stood up for you and you even turned on me.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carolina said something back like, who cares or whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? At some point.
Right. Right. Yeah. So that's a big thing. Okay. Pivoting to Dina.
Yeah.
That connection, I guess, is to me the strangest one. I can't get a read on who Grant likes. Because Dina is like a very, I guess, well, I feel like Dina and Carolina, but, well, I don't really know about Carolina.
I can't remember if we called them this or if they described them. So she described herself in this way, but maybe not this exact terminology.
Oh, Ice Queen.
Ice Queen.
They both said that they are Ice Queens. That's why they connect, because they're Ice Queens.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, maybe does he like Ice Queens? But then some of the other girls that he's with are not that. Right.
I think there's aspects from what I can tell, and it's okay to not have a type.
Sure.
I think what he might like about Dina, he seems very, he said he chose his career over a previous girl.
Yeah.
He wants success. A lot of guys are driven, a lot of people are driven by success.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking from the dude, from the dude's perspective, what he might like about Dina is the possibility of a power couple.
That's true.
She's such a strong.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And he was talking about like, oh, I want to be there to take care of you. And she's like,
She was like, you know what's even like sexier is a man who knows that. What did she say?
I forget how she said it, but what's better is if we teamed up.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of the mentality of, I don't want to cross over too much, of Devin and Virginia on Love is Blind. She's very successful.
Yeah.
And he keeps talking about, oh, she's going to start a nonprofit. I'm going to become the CEO of a basketball And like, what a big part of his relationship future he sees, Grant possibly, I don't know, could just be like, oh, we could be like on Forbes. Is it Forbes or Fortunes?
Forbes.
See, I don't know.
Both? I don't know. Forbes, I think, is what you're thinking.
Forbes,
of.
yeah, like top most influential, powerhouse. You know what I mean?
Money.
Right. Which is okay. Some people, I mean, that's what connects some people. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I could imagine. Because outside of that, I think anyone with eyes can say there's zero chemistry between them.
I mean,
maybe not zero. Maybe not zero, but
they were like kissing. So
yeah. I mean,
well, yeah.
What Rose self-eliminated. We just circling back to that.
Oh,
I think in a different world where she doesn't get involved with Carolina, she's a stronger contender.
Yeah,
because they had a strong start.
She always seemed a little shy. I felt like, which that's not a bad thing, but
who got the first impression rose? Alex. She also kind of fell off this episode.
Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I said. I think that they're not gonna. I think she's gonna just fall off. Like, I don't think she's going to hometowns.
Yeah, there really wasn't even much to go over.
Mm-mm.
And again, we're talking about what we've seen. There might be more information in the episode that's airing tonight.
I think right now the front runner is Latia. Is that? I gotta figure out how to properly say her name.
I think it's Latia. And anything else doesn't make sense. But Latia is obviously there. My question is, who is the other girl that he cannot decide between?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And that's hard to discern because it's not Carolina. If it's Carolina or Latia, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It could be Dina.
I'm
shocked.
Think so.
Whoever it is, they in the edit, they have not made it clear.
I mean, it could. We have been saying Juliana was a front runner, but she hasn't even had a one-on-one.
But remember, I think it was Nick Vile or somebody said sometimes they will, or Rachel maybe, they purposely hold off for the, if you tell them right away, Brooke is my number one. They don't want you to get you too laser-eyed focused on that, so they make you wait.
True.
So it's possible that she's on the back burner.
Yeah, that's true.
But all we have from her really is that she smiles a lot and she's willing to stand up to Carolina.
Yeah. I mean, he seems to like Serafina too. But
how do we forget all about her?
Well, I
don't think anyone sees her as a serious contender.
I know. There's something about her that is not that serious, I think.
Well, you're talking about in the context of the show.
Yeah.
I think we could all feel it in the edit that she's not one of the top people.
Yeah.
She's also ran.
Maybe so.
I hope that's not derogatory. Sometimes you just say words you've heard and you're like, well,
what did you say?
Also ran. I thought also, doesn't it mean like just another contender?
I've never heard that in my life.
I think it might be a sports term. Who knows? If you know what also ran comes from, please let me know if it's derogatory. Actually, I don't care about anything else.
Okay.
Anything else from The Bachelor? It's kind of hard. We're operating.
Think that's pretty much it. Parisa, it was kind of surprising to see her go because she got the group date rose last week. Yeah. Or the week prior.
Yeah, and he liked her. Didn't he give her a rock?
Yeah.
But I think maybe it was like, we're just friends. Maybe and you can still be kind to your friend.
Yeah, true. Very true.
And I was very sad. Her thought when she was leaving is like, did I talk about rocks and bugs too much?
She said that?
Yeah,
she was like, that.
I didn't do any, we didn't have any bad conversation. It was only positive. Maybe I talked about rocks and bugs too much.
Oh, no.
And you're just like, oh.
She'll be great in paradise.
She's gonna kill
She's Paradise Gold.
They're gonna find the weird. She's not weird, but in the context of the show, they're gonna find the weirdo guy, and they're gonna be fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I think that's it for The Bachelor on this episode. Again, possibly bonus content coming later this week. All right. You know what? I didn't ask before we started. Do you have a Brooks Buzz this week?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into the Traitors. I'm going to take it from here for a moment. Give me a second.
I know where this is going.
And I want to say this in the camera. I don't even know if I'm being exposed right or whatever's happening. Yeah, this is whatever. But we got to work on white balance. I want the people to hear this. I said a while ago that Danielle was bad at Traitors, Danielle Reyes, because of how crazy she was acting. But I spoke too soon. And I don't want to speak on a legend's name like that ever again. Danielle Reyes of Big Brother 3 and Big Brother All-Stars and Big Brother Reindeer Games is a reality TV show legend. And she deserves to be treated like one. What she did in this most recent episode of Traitors is masterful. I know the Survivor fans love Carolyn.
Yeah.
There's a world where I love Carolyn, where she's not an opposite Danielle, and I could love her. I appreciate her and respect her game. She's a great traitor until Danielle Reyes stepped up to the plate. People who are suggesting that it was Carolyn's fault and not Danielle's mastery, that she's not in the game, are lying and kidding to themselves. She laid the trap. She got him out. She has outlasted Bob the Drag Queen, Boston Rob, and now Carolyn.
Yeah.
Put some respect on her name.
Yeah.
She's about to get her friend in the house. We do not know, or as in the turret, we don't know what's going to happen. But I was wrong. Danielle is not a bad traitor. She is a reality TV competition legend.
Yeah.
And she deserves to be treated like one. I know we're all tired of the and the crying.
It is over the top.
We're all tired of it, but it's worked.
Yeah.
People have come out of the Traitors, found out that she was a traitor, and been shocked.
Yeah.
They've been hurt.
Yeah.
They've been saying, I can't believe she swore on her grandkids.
Yeah.
The show is called Traitors.
Yeah, it's kind of part of the show.
So I would like to apologize personally to Danielle.
Listen,
You're
in the minority.
I know, and I'm fighting for my life.
People out on the web, they do not see it. But I honestly think it's because they don't have the Big Brother background.
Right. And you know what's so crazy? I'm going to lay something down for y'all. I was very young when Big Brother 3 came out. So, but I rewatched this season since then. And I didn't have this appreciation when it came out, but I looked up articles to confirm this. This is what she does. People who know Big Brother history know that when Danielle Reyes walked out of that house, half of America and everyone in that house hated her guts. She played the absolute best this season, but people felt betrayed. They couldn't believe some of the things she had done to get there. And there are articles calling her the devil.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But Big Brother players who know game, more than Survivor players, is what I'm discovering. And I have something on that too. No. That this, if you think about it, this is what she does.
Yeah.
She betrays
right.
people. She's a perfect traitor.
You're right.
People feel genuinely betrayed, and I don't know what can make you a better traitor.
Yeah, you're right.
If you sign up to play Monopoly.
That's the thing about this show that is so good.
Yeah.
That they have reality TV stars is because other gamers get it and they respect it.
Right.
The housewives and the people who aren't gamers, they don't get it.
Right.
And they're salty.
Yes. It's like, it's something else. I just can't believe Danielle Reyes. I'm a huge fan of yours. I'm sorry for ever doubting it. Let's talk about Survivor players. Survivor fans, excuse me. I respect Survivor players. Boston Rob is amazing. With the seasons we've watched of Survivor, we've seen great gameplay.
And no, it wasn't even that we saw him on. It was Amazing Race.
But we did see him on.
We did. You're right.
But he wasn't amazing on that. But I do remember him on the originals. I watched Survivor with my parents when it originally aired. But you're right. On Amazing Race, we've seen him do what he does in everything. He's good at what he does. But this is what it is about Survivor fans, not Survivor players. Survivor fans aren't the game respecters that I thought they were. They want something else, and I'm seeing it, and I don't feel like, because there's so much crossover.
What do they want?
There's so much crossover between Big Brother and Survivor fandom, but as a sole Big Brother fan, Survivor players aren't gamers like I thought. They want, I don't know, it's hard to say, but they don't respect the game. The people, the Wesses, the Derricks, the Danielle Reyes, if it's not in their little Survivor clique, it's like they can't see it. And I can respect it. I can respect with it, but they're just fans of Survivor. I thought they were fans of gamers. No, they're fans of their little club that they have, which is fine. But let's stop slandering good
Yeah.
gameplay.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I am this hyped about Traitors, and I will give you. I'm sorry for
No,
just
you're
taking over
good.
because when we're watching Traitors, I'm pacing up and
Oh my
down the
gosh,
floor.
I can't even. It's also, y'all. It's the pausing. Okay. If Jared gets, if it becomes too much, he will pause, and I'm like, can I please just watch? Like, can you please just buckle up? So, because the pausing sometimes drives me nuts.
Listen, I have to pause. I literally can't. I literally can't take it.
Yeah, clearly.
This season of Traitors is such a roller coaster because I too had the wool pulled over my eyes. Carolyn was a great traitor. Let's talk about that.
Sure.
Carolyn did a good job. Nobody in there expected her.
Yeah, no, she did do a good job.
And if it wasn't for Danielle turning the tides, Carolyn would have won.
No, that's true. But I genuinely feel like Danielle, after Boston Rob left, I genuinely feel like she would have worked with Carolyn.
Yes.
But Carolyn was like, did not want to work with her. And so obviously Danielle's going to try to get her out.
Right.
I mean, she was like making it known she didn't want to work with her.
Yeah. This is where Carolyn lost the ball. And Survivor fans buckle up. Danielle, as much as there was a moment where she was like, I got to get Rob and Carolyn out of here. It was so she could win the game, not because she had a personal vendetta.
Yeah.
Carolyn lost sight of winning the game and just got on anti-Danielle train.
Yeah.
And that's how Danielle was saying, all right, like a matador, you know what I mean? Ole, come on in. Because
I will agree with that.
Carolyn lost focus. That's why I'm like, she's not who y'all say she is.
I'll agree with that.
She just anti-Danielle. And because y'all are big Carolyn fans, which I respect her. Mm-hmm. Y'all became anti-Danielle, and you don't like her antics. Mm-hmm. They're a little much.
But it's okay.
But Danielle's not going to win the game. She's got way too much heat to her.
I don't know. Well, yeah, because Gabby was onto it.
Gabby was
like,
onto
that
it.
was giving Bob and Rob.
And they told Sandoval, and he even believed it. And I think Ivor was there in that conversation. Yeah. And already Efron, I forget his name, Dylan, was already between one of them. Mm-hmm. So she's not going to make it, but this is the perfect setup because I want Brittany to win Traitors.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
We are huge.
But I don't know because I honestly almost feel like Brittany is going to become the scapegoat for Danielle.
I genuinely think Danielle doesn't want to do that.
Okay.
I think genuinely Danielle wants to get her friend across the line.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I can honestly see where that causes her to lose the game.
Yeah.
And Brittany if she can go under the radar, Brittany can win.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Brittany and this?
Yeah.
We've been rewatching Big Brother seasons just for fun.
Uh-huh.
We watched her season 12.
I don't even know. 12, 13, 14?
We watched her in 12 and watched her in 14, I think it was what it was. It was the Brigade season and the Dan's funeral season. I had just remembered her as being like, oh, she's so good in the diary room.
Yeah.
But she's genuinely a really, really...
And she's a super fan. She's a Big Brother super fan.
Right.
And she was a great player.
She's a great player.
She got screwed over multiple times.
Right.
Which I guess if you're a great player, maybe you should know how to not get screwed over.
Right.
I don't know. Or get out of being screwed over.
Right.
But, yeah.
I do personally think that I saw a theory. And I think Brittany's good enough. Because I've seen her play Big Brother. I've seen her twice, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Reindeer games. What I think is, and I genuinely believe if you watch her, Brittany's not dumb. She knows how Danielle acts.
Yeah.
I think Brittany knows that Danielle is a traitor.
I think you might be right.
And has known for a long time.
Yeah.
But why would you tell a traitor that you know them or spread heat on yourself by telling anyone?
Right.
You take her far away and then you get rid of her because you know she's a traitor.
Right.
So I don't think Brittany would do this because it would mean betraying Danielle twice. She just betrayed on Rain again. She could totally just sell her out and then bam, boom.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah.
Now, wow, I feel like I'm coming off an adrenaline high. I have loved where the season of Traitors has ended up. I know some people have hated it. I say you just gotta understand the game a little bit better.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe look at the title card one more time. The show is called Traitors.
It's just that's the thing is like everybody has their own take on how these shows are supposed to go. There's no rule book of like this is how you be a traitor.
Right.
This is how you be a faithful.
Right.
So it's like you like who you like and you like how it goes or not. I said, okay, Dorinda, extremely problematic, but I was devastated that she went home first, right? Like, it is what it is. And Tom Sandoval, extremely problematic.
Right.
But he's very entertaining on this show.
Yes. That's so funny. People who have no clue his backstory.
I don't even understand how that's possible. How is it possible? If you're not a reality TV fan and you don't watch shows, okay. But if you know anything about reality TV and you don't know about Scandival,
right. Well, here's what's interesting. There's so much reality TV. You can feel like you watch reality TV and have huge blind sides. That's true. Like, I thought, like, Bob the Drag Queen, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, this guy's pretty entertaining. Mm-hmm. I wonder how big his following is. And I don't know what made me think this. Oh, it was maybe some way he was talking about Gabby or something. Mm-hmm. And in my head, I was like, I'm pretty sure Gabby has she was like a bachelorette on not broadcast television. She's got to have way more followers. Mm-hmm. No way. He has... Well, I forget the number, but he was like almost double of what on Instagram.
That's amazing.
And I wouldn't be surprised if all the other ones are like that. But I had no idea that this was one of the most popular people on Instagram of reality TV stars and was bigger than most Bachelor contestants. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you don't watch the shows, did you know who Bob the Drag Queen was before the show?
No.
So that's what I'm saying.
That's true.
There might be a whole lore of like, you don't know about the Bob the Drag Queen fight?
You're right.
Were you online? Do you even watch it? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
You're right. No, I shouldn't be so hard because you're right. But yeah.
Okay. What else we got on Traitors?
I don't know. I think that pretty much covers it.
You know what else? I've gained a respect. Not gained a respect because I've always liked this guy. But I feel like this is a really big good time, for Alan Cummings right now, the host of Traitors.
Oh.
I think my first time seeing him was in the Spy Kids movie. Where he was the villain.
Yeah.
I thought it was a masterful performance. Mm-hmm. Even at the age of 7 or however I was like, get that man an Oscar.
Yeah.
And then
I feel like he's always been popular.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But I feel like everything's coming because on TikTok, you know how the algorithm works. But at least on my feed, his like rendition of Money from Cabaret is trending as a sound. And so that was like, I don't even know if people really even realize that's
I don't.
Alan
that sounds
Cummings.
Like something I wouldn't realize.
But I'm just saying that's trending. Then Traitors is coming. And then I feel like he's in some movie right now or something. But anyways. Good.
One more final thought.
Yeah.
I saw online someone say it was like, okay, people that need to go on the next season of Traitors, and Spencer Pratt was on there, and I 100% agree. Spencer Pratt, Traitors, prime time.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that. If you have any more, give me one or two more people you would really like to see go on Traitors.
Let's see. Let me try to
think about
file through the housewives real quick.
I don't know if she's out of jail yet, but what about the Utah?
Oh, Jen Shaw.
She would be.
She's not out of jail yet, but she would be great.
I mean, she would be insane. She would make Dolores seem rational.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, wait. Let's talk about how Dolores and Sandoval for no reason are just
that is so annoying.
We hate you.
Why are they just throwing away votes because they don't want to look a certain way? And they're just like, oh, well, we know we hate each other, so let's just, I don't know.
That's so funny. Okay, Jen Shaw, I think, yeah.
Jen Shaw.
She wouldn't be good at it, but she would be crazy.
She would be crazy, yeah.
I would also like, of the housewives, tell me if you agree. We haven't had too many Utah housewives, because I'm also thinking about, what's Miss Plastic Surgery? Heather
Gay.
I think she would be funny.
She would be pretty good. She would be funny. Let's see. Who else? Maybe like,
What about some Summer House people? Would you?
Someone said Candace from Real Houses of Potomac, which she's not on anymore.
Yeah.
But she would be good.
Yeah.
I don't really watch Summer House.
Oh,
but Sierra was on there.
That's true.
Yeah. And
what? Oh, go ahead.
Summer House just started, and I watched the first episode, and Sierra was talking about Traitors. She's like, I've been in Scotland, da, 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 da. And she was like, she said they only got their phone for 30 minutes a day every 6 days.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Especially being like reality TV influencer or whatever. Candy Burris. If we're talking about former housewives, I'm always a fan of Candy Burris.
I was thinking Candy too, but I didn't know if Candy had been. She wasn't on. She was on Big Brother,
right?
Yeah.
Is it Nene? It's Nene Leakes, right?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Nene. She would. I think actually she would be good.
She would be good.
Cause she would read people, and once she would corner you, she wouldn't back down. It reminds me of Phaedra's performance. Yeah. Phaedra, like once she got it, was very, very good and had some great one-liners. For me, this is for pure TV. I'm a little, as you can tell, I'm a little defensive of Big Brother. So, and that way I wouldn't want her to go because I feel like she would be insane. And people would be like, what is going on in Big Brother? But I've forgotten her name. This most recent
Crazy Eyes.
Yes, Crazy Eyes.
Yes.
Matt and, what was her name?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember either.
It's not Karen, not Kathy. It's not Haley, not Hannah, not
oh my gosh.
But her, you know, from Big Brother.
Yeah.
You want to Paranoia?
There's people screaming at us right now. Like, really, y'all can't remember.
Yeah,
her
that
name?
would be
name?
Outright insane. What's happened to the white balance on my camera?
I don't know. Yeah, she would be great.
As well.
Angela
from Big Brother would be a seismic shift. People who have not seen her on reality TV would not be prepared for the energy she would bring. I don't know if she would get on the show again, but from that season, Chelsea did a good job.
Yeah, Chelsea.
She would be good at it. I don't know if she would. Nah, she could bring some entertainment. She's a really good Big Brother player, one of the best of all time, and so she would bring some entertainment. I think Taylor Hale. Bachelors, anyone from the Bachelor season recently? I to be honest, I think I kind of forget about a lot of contestants.
I do too.
If they don't have enough seismic.
Because honestly, think about it, they don't get a lot of screen time. And like, cause Gabby, even she was a Bachelorette, and I'm seeing her in like a new light on this show.
You're right; they're so produced, you don't even really know them.
Yeah.
Because when Peter, the first time it was the second season, Peter was there.
Yeah.
And we're like, what?
Right.
He's actually good. I same with Ari.
Right.
They portrayed him one show, then you see him and just being himself. You're like, huh?
Yeah.
So you're right. That's a good point. Okay, I can't think of any more.
Me either.
All right. How you feeling, Brooke?
Good. Just needed to readjust.
Yeah. Get some blood flowing. Yeah. We're on the final stretch, final leg. You think we can make it?
Yeah, we got it.
We have to talk about the most boring season of Love is Blind ever.
Bless.
It's not, I don't know if it's the worst season. Unfortunately, Houston, I think, still takes that cake. It was so bad. But this season was boring. Now, it has picked up a little bit.
Boring.
But it feels like we're almost grasping at straws.
Everyone looks the same, acts the same, aside from Devin and Virginia.
Yeah, but even them they're just kind of basic. I don't say that they're basic, but there's nothing like crazy stand out about them.
Yeah, it's not like you're just like, oh my goodness, their connection is unreal. But then it's also not, but then you're also not like, oh no, they're horrible.
Exactly.
So it's kind of just like, okay.
It's not basic. It's like middle ground.
Yeah.
They're just kind of meh.
Yeah.
Maybe because again we're caught up. We've seen all the episodes.
We need to just talk about Dave. I mean, he's the worst.
Yes, let's do Dave, and then we'll go couple by couple.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Where do we even begin? Dave was problematic in the pods from the jump. Okay,
Yeah.
he was
Asking
in
women
there
what's wrong with you.
asking them what's wrong with you, talking about how what did he say? He'd been a bad he'd treated girls badly before.
Right.
Like it just was like, ugh. And it was inexplicable why Molly and Lauren were fighting over him. I mean, they weren't really fighting, but like they both wanted him. Like I don't understand why. I really don't.
Yeah.
Because he has continued to show his just unattractive qualities post pods too.
Yeah.
Like he is berating this girl for having a friends with benefits situation prior to coming into the pods.
Yeah.
And she's like extremely upset about it. She's literally telling him like that's all it was. Like it's not a big deal. And he's just like refuses to believe anything she has to say about it. And I'm like, if this is your fiance,
exactly,
and this is the person you're gonna be with, then you need to believe her and trust her when she says it's not a big deal.
Right.
But he continues to be like, well, my friends know him and they know for a fact that you were with him the night before you came. It's like, how do they know that because they were there? Did they go to the house with it? Like,
yeah,
that's just such a crazy thing to say. And then she's just like, telling, and then poor girl, like she has to bear it all on the show. Like, she might not want to say it was just friends with benefits. It was just hooking up. It was just like she might not want to admit that. Yet she's trying to defend herself because
she was
you just
willing
refused.
to because she wanted to be with him so bad inexplicably.
And it's just like, why are you doing that? And a lot of people are saying, like a lot of people online are saying, well, it's because he doesn't like her and he's trying to find a way out. But I think he's just incredibly insecure. That's what I think.
Yeah, you're right. I think, man, I don't think, to be, if you know what I've thought, because you're right. A lot of people are like, oh, he doesn't like her for whatever reason, doesn't like her look, isn't ready for it. He's just trying to get a way out. Then I've heard of people who's like, no, just like you're saying, he really is insecure about this or doesn't want to trust her. Or like, oh wow, someone I know already, hooked up with this girl. I don't want that kind of. But to be honest, the more I think about it, I don't even know if he knows.
Yeah.
There's a lifelessness behind his eyes.
True.
When she's like bearing her soul.
That's true.
That if it was truly tearing him up, which is what I thought, I would expect more of this is so hard, you know what I mean? Because I really do love you, but it's just, I can't, I don't know. I've known these people for so long. I don't know why they would lie to me. You know what I mean? Why would they?
Yeah.
And they're also concerned. I have to take it, consideration what they're saying. But this is so hard. I don't want to see you cry. But he's just,
That's so true.
It's dead.
That's
and
so
like,
true.
I'm like, surely this man can have zero empathy. And then like, if he was just trying to get out of it, just get out of it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way to go to make her look any worse than you've made her look. If you think you've made her look bad, just say, I don't know if I can get past this. Maybe we need to shut it down. But kind of like with Molly, he kind of was like, I've come to a conclusion and is hoping that they're like, okay, so are we done?
Yeah.
Then he can be like, I said that.
He did do that.
But Lauren isn't doing that. So he's just kind of, but I don't know.
And so then to get mad at Lauren for like not completely ending things with this friends with benefits situation is wild because you don't do that either.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing because he legitimately was just talking to a girl. What's worse, her saying like, oh, it was just a physical connection. I have zero, romantic connection with this guy, whatever. Or him saying like, I was kind of 50-50 on you girls on who I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. You see what I'm saying? Like that's why I don't even know if he knows what's going on in his head. I think he's waiting for his sister to tell him.
Oh my gosh,
how he feels about it.
Another thing. Why the sister? Something about, well, okay, it could be because his mom has passed And so now he views his sister as like a motherly figure. I don't know. I'm just saying that. But there's something that he's like so concerned and worried about how his sister is going to feel about all this.
He was crying in the pods, like the lobby area, talking about, I hope she's okay with it, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think she is.
I need to see this. I need eyes on the sister.
We have to. That's like...
And then, but also, too, Lauren keeps being like, let me talk to your friends and clear this up. And he's like refusing to allow that.
Right, because he doesn't want to change his mind.
Yeah.
But why, I don't know. First of all, we have to see the sister. I hope they got her on the show, because it's like the last, I don't want to say the only redeeming thing, but it could help it if we have a family confrontation. But in the preview, they didn't show her. I feel if they had her on the show, they would have shown in the preview, boom, boom, her Lauren opening the door to her sister's house. And she'll be like, so what do you got to say for yourself? Here's another thing about Lauren, and I think he knows this deep down. If they'd heard Lauren, her side of it, and talked to her, they might still be stubborn, but you can honestly hear how she was reacting and being like, oh, she was trying to hurt you. You know what I mean? She's a total liar. She was very earnest with it. She was willing to, I want to talk to him and defend myself. But he just wants to end it, I think. Or I know he wants to end it. Why, I don't know. Watching the show, I was very annoyed with Dave. What does he go by? David.
I think Dave.
No, I think that her ex situationship was Dave, and he's David.
I think he goes by Dave. I have it written down as Dave in my notes. I could be wrong, but
I was very annoyed, just like everyone was. But as time goes on, I'm like, this guy clearly doesn't care. Didn't want to be, wasn't seriously looking for anything. Because what if she'd been the perfect girl? What and your sister said no? What would you have done?
Yeah.
And she seems like a great girl.
Right.
I don't know. It's just, anyways. Ugh.
Whatever. Good riddance.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way they're getting married. He's not even staying. They haven't even stayed together.
They haven't stayed together. He doesn't want her to meet his friends, even to defend herself.
They haven't shown us meeting her family at all.
Yeah, they're not going to. I think the thing about, he is a villain, but I like villains that I like to hate, quote unquote.
Yeah.
To root against. I just don't even care about this guy. Feel bad for Lauren, but it's just like, let's move on. And so let's move on. You have anything else on them?
No.
I feel like I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about Devin and Virginia. Their whole time in the pods, we haven't talked about. Let's talk about how long the pods were. Everyone has said it. We're not the first to talk about it, but 6 episodes of straight pods, criminal.
Too much.
Lock those producers up.
Especially because there was barely any drama.
Lock those producers up.
I
It
know.
was maybe the production. I almost want to hear what they're saying about editing, because they could be saying like, we saved this season because it was boring and there was no drama,
right?
And we had to squeeze out everything we could, and the only thing that was available was the pods.
Yeah,
maybe is what they're saying, but still, if that's the case, maybe just scrap the season.
Yeah, for real.
Or
they would never, though.
They would never, or make the season shorter. We would be upset about that, but just if the content's not there, don't do 6 episodes of pods.
It gets so boring in the pods.
I would want to see the time. How much time we spent listening to Madison and Alex and Mason and Meg conversations, just for them, all 4 of them, to decide not to meet up with anybody.
Right.
Now, they are going to have some drama at the cocktail party, but if they're not getting married, who cares? We're here to see people if they'll get engaged. You know what I mean?
It does appear that Meg and Mason are together, though.
Right, which is good for them, but this isn't just a regular dating show.
True.
It's, are you willing to get married?
True.
Off of,
True.
Yeah, but okay. Devin and Virginia.
We've kind of already said it.
Yeah.
They're just kind of mid.
Yeah.
You said maybe she settled.
Well, she hasn't said settled, but she's definitely said she's going against type. She's not going for the guy she could have gotten and dated in the past.
She said in the pods, right? Like, Well, I could find someone tomorrow outside of here.
No, I don't know if she said hot guy or however she phrased it, but she was basically saying it doesn't matter what you look like.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know.
She seems very successful. She seems very.
His,
As the more I saw her, because it was very at the beginning, it was very much just like, especially contrasted with his original match, Brittany, and they were exuberant. They were going back, and she was just kind of more of a thank you. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's great. You're great. But as we've seen her more, she's very, I think, confident, mature, secure.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
and willing to make a partnership, and a lot of times that's what makes a successful relationship.
That's true.
It doesn't necessarily make great TV.
True. But I don't even feel like they have a cute vibe. Like, okay, with Joey and Monica, they're cute. Like, they're goofy, they're funny, they're quirky, they're cute. You know?
Yeah, Devin and Virginia. The only thing they have is that there's nothing really.
I know.
There's drama and the will they won't they prenup, but if brother, good looking woman who's willing to pay off your debts, what I'll do it. You know
How wild was his family with her? His family with her though. Being like, so what if he loses his job tomorrow?
What if our parents have to move in?
What if our parents? Yeah, like.
What if he wants to have 5 kids and name them DEVIN?
Yeah.
What if our pig dies and you have to eat pork for 5? What if you have to? You're like, calm down.
Yeah,
people.
like what was that?
I think some people come in with the mentality we're gonna grill her.
Yeah,
we're gonna but she's not. That was a good moment because she answered all of those.
Yeah.
She was very. You could tell. I don't know what she says. She's in healthcare, but I feel like she could do some kind of marketing thing because when Dave, we didn't talk about this, and Honduras was going around asking every single person, hey, have y'all had sex yet?
Oh my God.
Including the women. You know, she handled herself very, lightly on her feet and was like, I forgot what she said. But when talking to the parents, when they were throwing these fastballs at her, she was like, yeah, this is how we think, this is where we're going to go. And
I would have destroyed Dave if he came up to me and said that. Oh my gosh. I just feel like that's so none of your business.
True. Truly. And like watch the show, you'll see.
Yeah, like
if you want to know that bad.
Whatever.
So I think they'll work out. Like I don't know why he wouldn't sign the prenup. I think she's not saying like you don't get any money. It's just like if things the worst were to happen.
I wonder if we're gonna see her family.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
The thing about the prenup conversation, my opinion on it is, and we discussed this when we were watching the episode. Well, this is a take actually nowadays. Mm-hmm. I actually don't. I think if you were genuinely committed, a prenup shouldn't necessarily. I know there's a lot of legal reasons someone might for other reasons. But if it's just because I'm scared you might divorce me, well, then don't get married.
Yeah.
And it's how I genuinely feel about it. And I do think and not everyone views marriage about this, Lord knows. But if you're going to join together and then split up, you join together and then split up. Don't litigate. Oh, well, I was 90% and then you 10% and you never did anything more than, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, then don't marry that person if you can't. Is how I see it.
Yeah,
I can understand in the instance where if you married someone that you've only known for 10 days or 3 months, however long the process is, maybe you're like, I do want to marry you, but I don't know everything I can know about you in 3 months. Yeah. So I can kind of understand where she's coming from, and she doesn't seem unreasonable. It doesn't sound like I want to divorce you.
Yeah.
But if I divorce you, I just want to have some groundwork. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's touchy. You probably know a little more about it than I do.
What, prenups?
Well, just divorce.
Oh, divorce.
Right. I say that not because of anything, just because I
work with people.
You're a counselor who you've seen people of all different walks. Is what I'm saying.
Or who are thinking about getting divorced or all of that. Yeah. No. I mean, most. I would say. Well, I don't know. A lot of people do when they are getting to that point, do look back and say, yeah, the signs were all there. I just ignored it. I didn't, all that.
What do you mean that they were probably not going to work out as a relationship when they talking about the points of getting to divorce?
No, like
you're saying when someone is thinking about divorcing their spouse, they look back and say like, I should have known.
Yes, exactly. Right. I should have. I ignored red flags, or it never really was that great. Things like that. So like, I think if you are already having those feelings, listen to that.
Yeah.
And maybe let's not proceed.
I agree. And you said it the best. I think that's you're right. My thing is the prenuptial agreement is don't get married.
Yeah.
If you can't, you know what I mean? Like if we don't work out or whatever, you deserve 50% of the very little, you know what I'm saying, that I have, because it's not what I expected at all.
Yeah.
Not what I expected. Is like whatever, you know what I mean? Like I don't think of it in terms of that way. And so I just can't, from my perspective, truly ever imagine why you would get married to someone who you also feel like, oh, I hope this person doesn't take half of everything I own. Exactly. Because anyways, it's not a marriage podcast, I guess. But she's handled. We talked a lot about Devin and.
I know.
So let's go to Joey and Monica. You already brought them up.
I think they're goofy. I think they're fun. I think they could really work out. I think unfortunately her sister was very jealous, and it was not coming off as supportive in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And so I could see maybe her being like. Monica being like questioning it because of that, but at the same time when she was talking to Joey about it, she wasn't like,
I don't talk about my sister like
that. Exactly. And she wasn't like defending her sister's actions.
Yeah.
So I could see it going either way.
She seems like, and she was also like, didn't have the relationship when her sister was like, I don't want you to get divorced. Monica was like, I don't want to get divorced. Right. Why would you think I would want that? Yeah. She's like, it could happen. She's like, that's not what I'm aiming for. Right. She was already kind of like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? We're not going to say anything I don't think anyone else online has said about. I mean, everyone knows Joey and Monica. We barely saw them for the first 6-7 million hours of the show or whatever. And now we got a lot of them as the sister thing. Here's my thought. And I want to hear what you have to say on this. What do you think it's like for her sister watching back these moments and then going online and seeing everyone being like, whoa, jealous much? Yeah. You know, like, whoa, what's wrong with her, Monica? You should let your sister talk. You know what I mean?
I mean, do you think either way?
Do you think it even registers? Or she's like, wow, these are all haters? Or what is that like? Because that's a vulnerable thing for basically all of America to be like,
yeah, like
yikes.
It could go either way. She could definitely be like, yeah, I kind of was jealous. Or she could be like, no, I just love my sister and I'm protective of her and that's all that it was. And Right. But, I mean, it wouldn't be fun, certainly, to look back and see that.
I almost could imagine her being like, nah, I am the oldest. I should have gotten married first. Yeah. She also said
there are a lot of people who think that.
She was like, yeah, and I wasn't being like, oh, I don't want you to get married. I was just expressing how weird I thought.
And that's kind of, sisters can be, and brothers, you'll have to weigh in on the brothers, but sisters can be kind of competitive in that way.
I've never thought about it, but let's say I was the oldest and both my younger brothers were married. I don't think I would be like, wow, y'all. I might say jokingly, y'all beat me to it, but I wouldn't. And maybe that's what she would be saying, like, yeah, I was just joking or whatever. But I would be more of like dang, I am lonely. Let me go find me a wife. I want what my brothers have. Yeah. Not, I can't believe y'all are getting married first. Yeah. I think I don't think that's a boy or girl thing. I think that's a her thing. In the sense.
I've definitely heard sisters say it.
Really?
Not mine, but I have heard sisters say it.
Yeah. It's tough. I think that's a lot of societal stuff too. I think my wife is a licensed counselor. I am talking out of ignorance. But I think guys, most men aren't told by society that your self-worth is in getting married.
Absolutely.
as much. I'm not saying all women are told this. And I'm not saying
Absolutely.
it's an explicit message. It's not flashing on commercials.
Right.
But a lot of it, I've heard the examples is like, oh, we teach girls to dream about their weddings, their dream weddings.
Right.
What boy have you ever heard talking about his dream
No, that's fair.
wedding?
That's fair.
So in that sense, it could be like, I've seen TikToks of like the oldest sibling, the parents weren't financially able to have a quinceañera, but then the youngest comes along,
Yeah.
and they get to this extravagant thing, and they're just sitting there like, well, where was mine?
Yeah.
So it could be kind of like a, where's mine? I was supposed to be.
Absolutely.
You remember, you watched Succession, Kendall Roy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thought he was supposed to get. So I think that it could come from a that place, coupled with boys just don't care about it as much. Because we, you know, not all boys, not all dudes.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would be jealous.
Yeah.
And I can't say for sure her sister's jealous, but she looks very jealous.
So the thing about this, the whole thing about her family dynamic, though, is that they were fun. They just had fun. They were happy. They were joking. They were laughing.
Yeah.
And Joey was just in on it.
Yeah.
But the sister was not really having fun with it. They were joking about how Monica had talked to the sister's boyfriend first online and then was like, I think you'd be great for my sister.
Right.
And they were all laughing and joking about it. The sister was not. It was not funny to her.
Right.
And that's okay. But like at the same time, it kind of shows that she's insecure about it.
Yeah. It's such, and also they were like, the mom was like, and they edited the show. We have to remember editors are editing what is being shown.
True. They
were like, oh, y'all look cute together, talking to Monica Joey, and her older sister was like talking about her relationship. Oh, do we look cute together?
Yeah.
So I just think to some degree, that's why my original question is, what is it like? Because there's a world, I mean, you would have some questions about your sibling marrying someone after 10 days.
Sure, yeah.
And it's just...
But remember what I said when we were watching? I don't know if you remember. But I was like, yeah, like, that's okay. But a supportive sister would be like, if something happens and y'all do get divorced, I'll be there for you.
I hear you. And
like, instead of being like, well, I don't want you to get divorced. Kind of like, oh, well, how's that going to look for you? Or what's that going to look like?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I will say this. I did not consider myself as being someone on TV that I said this, but I was like, okay, looking for nooks for gossiping is not how I would have described but that's how it was, and it's become that's what was on the show. So I am leaving space, holding space.
Okay.
Wicked. Okay. I am holding space for the possibility that she was like, I said that? I didn't.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It came out, but it was like, that was more like a passing thought. I don't know if I meant it that way.
Absolutely.
You and I being reality TV stars, we can relate.
Yeah.
Dang, we got a couple couples. What else we got left?
Sarah and Ben. So they just, they're basic. But they seem like they have good chemistry, except now they have a whole Instagram debacle too. Kind of like the other couple.
Yeah.
Of like, some girl got on there saying these guys on the Minnesota guys are all trash and narcissistic. And he was like, I think she's talking about me. Which, good for him for kind of being upfront about it. But I don't know. It just seemed so, to me, it seemed like Sarah was really like on the girl's side, which I can understand wanting to really get to the bottom of it. But at the same time, like, it was so long ago.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It's just, to me, it sounded like a classic case of maybe she liked him more than he liked her.
I agree.
And she thought it was something else. We've all been there.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, when it comes to that situation, I definitely was like, ugh, I could understand a situation arises where that girl was way more into him. And he's just kind of like, how do I eject out of this? It's probably better than to say, make it a whole long conversation and probably just like, hey, sorry, not in.
And if it was more, I'm sorry. Like, if it really was more, like, he was, like, abusive or, like...
Well, she didn't say he was
Yeah, but
abusive.
she didn't say anything like that. So I don't know. To me, it just doesn't seem like it needed to be elevated that much.
I don't know who the girl is. I saw the TikTok, but I didn't really pay attention.
I
So
mean,
who she was.
did say he was narcissistic, and that is abusive. So I think that's why I said that, because that gets...
It can be abusive. You can be narcissistic and not be abusive, I feel like, right?
It'd be really tough.
But I'm talking about... So a narcissistic person goes on 2 dates, that means they automatically abuse someone?
No, definitely
See, he said it wasn't more than just a couple hookups, or hangouts. He said they didn't hook up.
Yeah.
He purposely said they didn't hook up.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, is it possible that it was a brief encounter where he was just like, ooh, and she was like, how dare, she was coming into it. We don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who the girl is. I don't know her backstory. I think on TikTok especially, man and woman, there's this whole subgenre of chronicling dating, and you are the protagonist of your story, and therefore every single person who you didn't work out with is some villain that interrupted your love story.
Yeah.
And it becomes, I'm not saying this about this girl, but it can easily become like, oh, you just have the worst luck. Why is every single guy in Minneapolis horrible?
Yeah.
As much as the guys we've seen aren't the best guys, every single man in Minneapolis is not a narcissistic scumbag.
No, for sure.
Ghost. Like, it's just, it can't be possible.
For sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get what everyone's saying, but sometimes it's like people just don't like each other.
Yeah.
But not to take Ben off the hook completely, I do think Ben and Sarah are perfect for each other, and that they both are just trying to put on a front. There's stories about him handing out YouTube cards, which, hey.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Maybe we need to do that too. It got him on Love is Blind. But he clearly wants to be known. Sarah, what I mean by Sarah, I think there's a certain look she wants to be perceived a certain way, as sticking up for certain causes, as believing in certain things.
That's true.
And then when it comes to the brass tacks, she's like, okay, but you'll do better, right? And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, so what are we talking about here?
That's another mark down for Ben, though, too. Red flag for Ben, though, too, is that he was like, I don't know about Black Lives Matter. Like, I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that. Like, that's a little... And I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to say it on TV for the whole world to see, but that's just not great.
Oh, no. My glasses just broke.
Oh, no.
But, yeah, I think when it comes... And it, like, really broke. When it comes to these... I was going to wear these to your delivery tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Anyways, I do have multiple glasses. We'll make it work, people. When it comes to them, I feel like they want to be seen a certain way, less than actually being a certain way. You know what I mean? And I think they're perfect for each other. Like, everyone's making it up like, oh, how could she stay with him after all that stuff and all this? Like, because she's going to be with somebody like that, I feel like.
I agree.
Okay, let's move off of them. Let's wrap it. Let's get it. We're on the home stretch.
Who's the last one?
Taylor
and Daniel.
Yes.
Which also an Instagram debacle.
Right.
She thought he had followed her, and he knew the whole time who she was, which to me is absurd. I'm sorry. But do you know how many female Taylors there probably are in Minnesota who are probably Christian and love Taco Bell and
are nurses,
dog mom or whatever it is in her thing,
and love their family.
Yeah, like, how could he know?
How could he know that she was going to be on Love is Blind?
Well, it's just from talking to her, like, how could you know that that's the same girl? Now, if they have mutual friends and he's come across her page before and looked at it, and maybe he accidentally followed her but quickly unfollowed her, okay. But let's talk about, why are you looking so closely about who's following you and unfollowing you? Just make your thing private if you really are concerned about that. Yes.
Having a followers app in 2025, think back in the day when the social media wasn't as like well fleshed out, maybe it made sense. But today, I think it's a little telling. Like, who cares? For your personal page, for the People's Rose, we need the followers, and I'm watching you closely. If you unfollow the People's Rose, I will know.
Okay.
I will show up at your house and make you follow us again. But like, I saw someone post, and I wish I kept track of that TikTok. I'm sure I could find it, but where she was like, who cares?
Yeah.
Let's say he did know it was you.
Yeah.
If the only reason you are marrying this man is because he knew you like Taco Bell, he's, I guess in the nurses, and y'all both like Christmas, then it doesn't matter how he figured that out.
Yeah.
He could have found that out. He could have, all those facts he could have learned about her in the first 3 minutes of them talking.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
What made them connected is more than just that.
Yeah.
And I think she kind of realized that.
Yeah, I think so too. Because as she was scrolling through, I think she realized this is kind of silly.
Yeah, and they had the Bueller thing. They both said it at the same time, and they had the same humor. They're both committed to the same things. I think they're going to be a great couple. It was very touching to see their families meet each other.
Yeah, that was really sweet. I don't think we've ever seen that.
Which that shows how crazy the experiment is, because of course in real life, if possible, the parents meet each other. Yeah. Because the families are going to be connected.
For sure.
And so seeing that this was the first time that happened was kind of like, oh snap, this show's crazy.
I will say that the parents were kind of laying it on a little thick about the, like, we don't do divorce in this family. Which I get it, but also, like, I feel like, I don't know.
Well,
it's added pressure, maybe?
I feel like people have co-opted that phrase because it's just, everyone says it.
Yeah.
Everyone says, like, oh, they're my person. And I'm like, that is it means nothing anymore. But people just say it because they hear everyone else say it. People say, in this family, we don't do divorce. When unfortunately, there's divorces in their family. Now, they might truly have a lineage of no divorces. Yeah. But I think it's better to say, we want this to go to distance.
Absolutely.
We want y'all to exhaust every avenue to stay committed to each other and to start that commitment on solid ground.
Yeah.
Saying it's like changing the perspective from saying, we don't have liars in this house.
Yeah.
When you're parenting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't come in here lying about stuff.
Yeah.
How dare you? And I've already said stuff like that. But you want to frame it into like, we want to be truth tellers. Yes. We want people to respect our word.
Yes.
And, we want to be somebody who's honest and respectful and people can trust. Right. And not just, how dare you lie?
Right, exactly.
When it's just like, don't get divorced, that's how people end up in bad situations.
Right.
They feel like, well, I have to make this commitment and just be miserable for life. When you can say, no, you can wait to start and be sure, like, we're going to be, I know this person is equally committed to what we want to accomplish.
Absolutely.
But the shorthand people have is just to say, we don't do divorce in this family.
Right. Absolutely. Yep.
I was touched. I cried. I'm not going to lie. In that meeting, when they met the families, his family was very supportive. His dad, her dad is so clearly, he's sick, as she said. Yeah. And I think he so clearly and so badly wants his daughter to be safe and married and see that step in her life. If, Lord, God forbid something wrong were to happen to him, like it will to everyone eventually. But you get what I'm saying? He wants to see that. Yeah. So I think he was more willing, and he's like, yeah, he seems like a great guy. Yeah. And Taylor touched Danielle's parents touched on this, and I think this is a big thing. We do, all parents, our parents before us, their parents, and us as parents. There's going to come a time where you can't make your kids do.
Oh, yeah.
Like, JB's 3, so I could be like, no, actually, you are going to be.
Right, absolutely.
But I can't do that to him when he's 33.
Right.
I wouldn't expect to be. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so if your daughter, if the daughter we are about to have right now
goes on Love is Blind.
30 years from now or 18 years from now. And
oh, like, no, not 18.
18, I will be like, hey.
Oh, no.
But you know what I'm saying? 33 years from now. And it's like, I'm on Love is Blind season 509. Yeah. And I met this awesome guy from Kalamazoo. Yeah. And we're moving there and we're going to raise sheep. And
gosh.
You know what I mean? We would do that like, oh gosh. But at some point you got to be like, all right.
Yeah.
We are definitely believers in God, and so we see our, and tell me if you disagree, I think we see our parenting as like a stewardship. JB and our son and our daughter are going to be full adults one day. And I think of their life. This is their life. We are their parents, but his life is not my life.
Yeah.
I get a lot of saying it right now, but we want to set him up so when he is adult, he's ready.
Yeah.
When she is an adult, she's ready.
Right.
And she's fully informed, and they're fully realized as much as you can be at whatever age that is. So when they start making decisions, we don't look back and say like, dang, why didn't we prepare them for that?
Right. I agree.
But we won't be able to control it, but we want to be able to say, well, we told you this your whole life, and now you're finding out.
Yeah.
I can hear my parents be like, yeah, Jerry, we told you this would happen. You wanted to find out for yourself.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So even as a parent, I think as her mom has to say like, hey, you want to marry a guy you met on a dating show? Just like you said about her sister, Monica's sister. I'll support you and stand up for whatever happens.
Yeah.
That's Love is Blind. I think it's season 8.
I think so.
Listen, guys, we're gonna be taking a Pod-ternity break. It's gonna be a while before you hear Brooke's soothing voice, her infectious laugh, and you can make it. You can get through it. But we're gonna have updates about our family as it grows. We're not gonna become family vloggers.
No.
Not doing that. I think it's illegal in California now.
No, they're okay.
Yeah.
Trust funds.
Yeah. But the People's Rose will continue. This is a podcast by the people, for the people, and from the people being Brooke and Jared. And so that said, I would like to do Rose Podium this week for my wife.
Oh.
Brooke, she is a reality TV star.
Oh, wow.
She is, gone through a lot this pregnancy.
Oh.
And she's going to have an awesome performance
tomorrow. I'm honored.
And she deserves the People's Rose for what she's doing for our family.
Wow.
And we're really grateful. And we just are so thankful that we have you. You don't have any roses to give, do you?
No.
So as for the podcast, don't worry if you're listening to this whenever you're listening to it, an episode is coming. We just don't know when yet. We just really don't know.
Yeah.
But we're happy to continue this hobby. Thank you for listening. Please follow us on social media. We're at the People's Rose on most social websites, except for Blue Sky, which is peoplesrose.com. Our website is peoplesrose.com, where you can listen to our episodes and follow us on whatever podcast streaming app you use. And also on your podcast streaming app, rate and review us. Give us a boost, you know what I mean? Help us come back with more followers, because I'm getting that followers app and I'm watching people. And we just hope to continue to somehow, some way, continue on with this.
Yeah.
In some capacity, obviously.
Yep.
Thank you for listening, Brooke. You got anything else?
No.
Pray for us as we grow our family, and peace out.
Bye.